crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 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 Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when I tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years black.
Thanks, Coach. Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Philadelphia Eagles. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And two stop.
Watch tight, tight end right. Watch tight, tight end right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 16 carries, 93 yards, and a score.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
60 yards.
A first down carry for Barkley. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Manning. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 46. A gain there of 21 yards. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now Saquon Barkley. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. To throw is Manning. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 12, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he'll get this inside of Philly's 20 before being taken down. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll drop the throw. Brought in by Wheaton. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. They'll be caught by Rice. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. No score after 1 on EA Sports. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Complete to Wheaton. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll set up to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. In for the score as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, A 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well.
Ready. 8 read.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Let's go, folks.
Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And to give this time to the tailback. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop,
this is intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Throwing is Manning. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check.
And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Back at the 5-yard line now. Second and goal. Second and 5. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Shotgun now for Manning. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Right there.
To throw again. Manning. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Check 9, check 9.
Get it.
Now Manning again. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Here we go on 4th down with Manning. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. This is Barkley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On first down, Barkley, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 40 now on second down. Manning. Open man is Higgins. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Devin White make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Over the middle, complete. That's Richards. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Second down and goal. Manning to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Throwing now is Manning. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off inside the 10. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. And it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Watch the boot, watch the boot.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a third and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Open man is Michael Thomas. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
And now it's first and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Second and 10. Thomas has got it. Complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
It's a gain of 8, and it brings up third down.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll look to throw here. It's caught by Bryant. It's a gain of 12. First down, Seahawks.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be third down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're trying to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 14.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's 2nd and 8. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final quarter. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. From the 40 now on second down. Manning got his man complete over the middle. That's Richards. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 40. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and will rope it.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And now
They don't want it. They don't want it. They don't want it.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
We go. 15 line. 15 line.
It's just me and you.
Hey, exit.
50's the mic.
So the fumble recovery, and now Manning. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jonathan Allen just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now Manning. This pass complete to Higgins. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
if he's their best threat on offense, use your number 1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for 1 more first down to help salt this one away. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken at the 23.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now Manning. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. To throw is Manning. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Manning to throw. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
A gain there of 21 yards. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Manning now to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because their only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
On 2nd and 10, Manning, and he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left.
8 read.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. So the victory here for Seattle. And this not always an easy proposition, Charles. You had a West Coast team that traveled east, but they got the job done.
And there's so much that goes into it because your body time and your body clock different from what you're used to west, because if you go east, you're going to lose up to 3 hours, right? So is your body going to be awake when it's time to play? A lot of teams actually rehearse it. They practice it. Maybe the week of the game, they move everything up